Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another week here with us at Delta Racing League. This week we are going to be at the historic Silverstone Circuit in Great Britain. We're going to be doing a super sprint this evening as well, so it should be pretty exciting because we're essentially going to have 4 qualifying sessions depending on how you look at it. What a super sprint is, if anybody is unfamiliar, we'll have a 15-minute qualifying session followed by a 30-minute race, followed by an additional qualifying session and a subsequent second race. So a lot of opportunities for drivers across the entire grid to, you know, if the first race doesn't go the way that they want it to, there's another race, and it'll be a 30-minute race, so they're pretty short, so the drivers can get out there and push as hard as they can for the entire duration. We're not worried about, you know, wearing out tires real early or having to worry about fueling concerns or anything like that. It is just a 30-minute sprint where the drivers can get out there and push as hard as they please. Let me go ahead and get us over. It looks like Xu Chen is going to be our first qualifier of the day. Let's go ahead and get a look over at the track here. Almost finished up with his out lap, getting ready to, or trying to warm up those tires. We'll have a pretty good idea of pace in qualifying here in just a minute. Practice is any indication. It's actually going to be pretty tight. If you were to exclude the top 6 drivers, the entire field would be within a 2-second sweep. So it is going to be a very interesting race here tonight. 26 cars in the starting grid for qualifying. We might pick up a couple of extras throughout. So we'll be keeping an eye on that driver count. But for right now, Xu Chen's going to round the last couple of corners here and start the first qualifying lap of our Silverstone Super Sprint this weekend. Whoop. Fixing my cameras here, don't mind me. Alright. Navigating his way through Maggots and Beckett's nice and tidy. Just a little bit on the inside there. There's not going to be a lot to talk about here for a little bit while we wait for these first couple of qualifying laps to come in. Ooh, a little bit bouncy there. We can see the Audi getting unsettled on the exit there. Those curbs are no joke. Especially once you get on the outside there, it really, you can tell just how quickly you're going to lose traction out there. Can be a little dicey, but he's keeping the car going forward. You can see, I believe that's Jean Casagina in the background there. It's a 3.6 mile circuit here, 18 corners, and they have raced everything from, wow, they've raced cars here for a real long time. Let's see, when was the very first one? Wow, it goes all the way back to the 1940s and farther even, depending on how far back into the history you want to look into. But yeah, race everything from MotoGP, Formula 1, Formula 2 and 3, of course, British GT, the Superbike champion. We get the SRO sports here. So, ooh, that was a little inside there from Xu Chen, but he's going to bring it across the line. It's going to be a 158.442 as the first lap, and it's going to be immediately beaten by John Casagina there with a 157.5, being the fastest lap on the track at the moment. Let's take a look over at Zach Doran. Right now, it looks like a 2.5 up on their previous lap. Currently sitting P7. And with that much of an improvement, let's see here. There we go. And then, actually, here's what I wanted to look at. There we go. Oh, it's still all messed up from when... Okay, because not everybody set clean laps. So we're going to have to wait on that view. Why did you do that? No. My broadcasting app has turned against me. It's... Oh, boy. Here we go. There we are. All right. Now we're back in business. All right. Everybody forget about what you just saw. But Zach Doran going across the line with a 158.397 as his new personal best, moving him up into second place. I'm sure he will be happy with that. Andrew Sear also on an improvement, going to be crossing the line right there with his first qualifying lap, netting him 4th position with a 159.162. Xu Chen sitting in P3 now. Andrew Sear doing a good job of negotiating Maggots and Beckett's there. One of my favorite little compounds in the on the schedule. Really has a nice flow to it. We were at Watkins Glen at Apollo Racing Club last night. There's another course that just has a lot of really nice flowy bends to it, and your foot's down the entire time. It's just an absolute blast, and that's what Silverstone is known for. There's a reason why it's one of the most popular tracks in the world. Casagina crossing the line with a new fastest lap, 157.18. I'm actually going to move that little announcement there. I just realized it's cutting off the logo there. So let's move that right down there for when we need it later. All right. Andrew Sear continuing to improve on the lap. Just 5 corners left to go. You see, that's the McLaren of Timothy Jabadal in the background there. Keeps the Porsche nice and composed through there. Coming around the final bend. Now he just has to get his foot down safely. Looks like he's going to do that. Uses every inch of the track. Nice. Stays inside the track limits there. And crosses the line with a 158.525. He's going to hang on to, or actually moves him up into 4th place because Matt Byrne had just taken that away from him. But we've actually got a little bit of a battle going on over here, it looks like. Let me get the, oh, whoops. What is it doing? Oh, BMW off very wide there. And Aaron Alexander going to be able to slip past that. Unfazed by watching a BMW go off the track there, still managing to hang on to a 1/4 second lead. Nice line through there, but doesn't quite get the power down. Is going to bleed away a little bit of time. And now he's just going to have to watch that delta inch away from him coming down the straight. And that is one thing about Silverstone. There are a lot of, challenging is the right word, challenging corners that open up into big, long straights. And that just adds to the punishment if you mess up one of those corners, because you have a nice, long straight for you to sit on there and go slower than you want to and think about what you've done. But Aaron Alexander going to cross the line with a 159.825, moving him up into 12th place. Let's see here. Stubby McNubby on a ripper here coming around the final bend. 1.8 seconds, almost 1.9 up in the delta, moving him up 6 positions from 21st up into 15th with a 2 minute 0.49. Andrew Sear going for another improvement here. And gets it, moving him up into 3rd place, knocking Zach Doran down with a 158.067. Let's go ahead now that we've got some lap times in there. Let's take a look at the session best relative. And that's everybody's distance from 1st place. So Casagina running away with it just a little bit. But the rest of the grid pretty close, kind of all in that 1.5 to 2.5 range. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates into race pace. Got a couple of yellow flags here. Not sure what's going on there. The 531 car is spun around off the track. See if the helicam can do. Oh, there's actually 2 cars involved there. Oh, and they're going to teleport back to the pits. Take a look over at Nicholas Armio. Currently has over a second in the Delta. Nice line through there, finding a little bit more time. Gets a nice double apex there of the last corner. Opens up the exit. Very nice, very nice. Is going to cross the line, losing a little bit of time, but not much. Still 1.25 seconds improvement is going to move him up 4 positions into 17th with a 2-minute 0.625. I'm Not Jimmy also getting ready to cross the line with a big improvement, 3/4 of a second better. Moves him up 6 positions, up into 8th place. Oh, I see. He was passing pit lane. That's why he was all up next to people. But here we go. Let's get the helicam over here because, or is that, there we go. It's just a really tight corner of track, and there's people getting past. I have a little line on the side that shows me where everybody is in relation to their progress on the track. So I'm trying to go to the spots where I see more than one dot. Try and get a couple people on camera at once, but that's not how it's working. But right now, Evan Toth looking to make a pretty big improvement here. Ooh, loses a little bit of it there. Commentator's curse striking deep on that one. Sorry about that, Evan. But still going to post an improvement. Will be pretty easy for him to find what he just lost there. But continuing to find some more time. Now up to 1/4 second, 3/10. Making that Lexus look quick. Now up to a 1/2 second. Ooh, and a rough exit. If I could get my other computer to behave. Aha! Got it. I believe that's Xu Chen that he's chasing down there. And here, let's ooh, rounding the final bend, gets on the inside there just a little bit, but it doesn't look like it invalidated his lap. He's going to cross the line with over 7/10 of improvement, moving him up 6 positions up into 8th place. We've got Matt Byrne on an improvement, as well as Jeff Spangler on an improvement. Both of them over 1/2 second. Let's actually ride on board with Matt Byrne. Let's take a look at what his lap is looking like from inside the car. There we go. Coming around the final bend. Hanging on to 4/10, gets the power down. Can he hang on to that time? He does. And with the sun rising right over there in the horizon behind the grandstands, he's going to cross the line with a new personal best. It's going to be a 1:58.417 as his new best time. Take a look over at Juan Martins here. 6/10 of an improvement so far. Let me see where on the track. He's coming down the last straight of the track into the last 3 corners here. Very important couple of corners here. A lot of time to be found as we're watching his Delta go up. Can he get a good cut back in? It's looking nice and tidy. Can he get the power down in time, though? Ooh, looks like a little bit of a rough exit. Still a great lap, though, going to cross the line with over a 1/2 second improvement. And is going to net him 3 positions, moving him up into 15th place with a 2-minute flat, 0.107. Landon Dinkle also on an improvement here, coming into, looks like. So yeah, he's got 2 corners to go, and then he'll be on the old start-finish line, or the F1 start-finish line. Because for some reason, this track is big enough that it has 2. And that is going to be qualifying over. Everybody on the track now is on their last opportunity to cross the start-finish line during this qualifying session. Then we will get into the first race, but big mistake out of Landon Dinkel there, and is going to lose his lead on that lap. Let's take a look at Timothy Jabadal. Hanging on to a very narrow lead here. Ooh, and finds it on the exit. My goodness. Makes a massive improvement there on his previous attempt. Settles back out to about the same amount of time now, coming down the straight. Hard onto the brakes. That can be a tricky one to judge in these mid-engine cars. Took a little bit narrow of a line there. Let's see how that works out for his Delta. It actually looks to have been pretty good, making up a bit of time there, coming around the final bend now. And it is going to be an improvement. Gains 3 positions, moving him up into the top 10 in P8 with a 159.082. Sure he'll be happy with that. Dylan Brick out on the track. Got a couple corners left to go. Looking to find a little bit more time here on the exit. Still has a 3/10 lead. Now just has to keep his foot down and cross the line, and that is going to be the qualifying session. He's going to set a personal best of a 2:08.65 as his new personal best. But that is going to be qualifying over. I'm going to kind of wait for the game to sort itself out so it doesn't lock me out of being able to control my cameras. So we're just going to look at the screen here for a little bit. Come on. There we go. All right. Now we're safe. I've learned that if you try to interact with the menu before the game is ready for you to, it gets very grumpy. Anyway, so there is going to be our starting grid. Qualifying winner is going to go to Jean Casagina. Going to hang on to first place there, followed by Shu Chen, Jeff Spangler to round out the podium positions. Andrew Sear in P4, Zach Dorn in P5, Matt Byrne in P6, Ross Sparrow in P7, Timothy Jabadal in P8, Evan Toth in P9, and Martin Flynn in P10, also in first place in the AM split. That's followed by I'm Not Jimmy in P2 in the AM split. Then Max Sunkenlap, Aaron Alexander, Juan Martins, Stubby McNubby, Nico Roskosh. Let's see, then it's Nicholas Armijo and Yi-Sun Sei. Going to be our top 10 for the AM split. 2 minutes to go here until we start our formation lap. I'm going to take a look here at what the weather forecast is on the other computer. It's actually looking like a pretty nice day. No wind out there, nice and warm. It's going to be 23 outside, 27 degrees on the track, optimum track, and nothing but sunshine in the weather forecast. Something I'm sure the drivers will be happy to see. But as a reminder, this is not the normal 1 hour race. There is still definitely an opportunity for some rain later in the evening. But for right now, it's looking like we're going to have a nice, dry first race here. So we hopefully won't have any excuses about any poor performances. But let's go ahead and take this opportunity here just to go ahead and take a look at the grid. Fix the camera there. There we go. So we've got John Casagina in first place, Shu Chen in second, Jeff Spangler in third, Andrew Sear in fourth, Zach Doran in P5, Matt Byrne in P6, Ross Sparrow in P7, Timothy Jabadal in P8, Evan Toth in P9, Martin Flynn in P10, I'm Not Jimmy in P11, Michael Yaknis in P12, Max Sunkenlap P13, followed by Aaron Alexander in P14, Juan Martins in P15. Oh, I got to try and pace this a little better. There we go. Stubby McNubby in P16, Nico Roskosh in P17, Landon Dinkel in P18, Nicholas Armijo in P19, Yi-Sun Sei in 20th, Dylan Brick in 21st, Steve Poe in 22nd, Joe Etsy in 23rd, Ryan Yee in P24, Ryan Garrity in P26, and my leaderboard doesn't scroll down. There we go. That's going to be Ben Burchett. That's right. He got disqualified from qualifying for some reason, and that's going to be in P26. But we're going to start our formation lap here. It is going to be a long one. Like I said, just a hair over 3.5 miles this circuit is. And so right now the drivers are going to be trying to get as much temperature into their tires as they possibly can manage, and trying to warm up their brakes, get everything into their nice operating range. Got a lot of room to do that. And we are about ready to get this race underway. It's probably the last time that this track is going to be quiet for the foreseeable future. It's going to be on this formation lap here. But for right now, it is the calm before the storm, if you will. With this being a 30-minute race and all, I'm sure the drivers are not going to be pulling any punches. They are here to score points, and they don't have very much time to do that, so... That's a neat shot. I appreciate that, Kunos. You can see the drivers swerving back and forth, trying to get as much temperature into their tires as they can. And I gotta say, you know, this may seem to not be the most exciting part of the race experience, and you know, I think I would tend to agree with you. But having been at the track in person while they come out on their formation lap, I gotta tell you, there is something special about when they kind of just walk past you in their cars, and you get to take a look, and you're like, all right, that's the last time I'm gonna see that car not as a blur today. Here we go. Like, it's time. This is when the adrenaline starts hitting. This is when the excitement starts rising. It's where people start standing up in their seats. So for me, this is a very special part of the race, because even though we're just watching these guys limp their cars around the track, it is setting the stage for the insanity that might be about to befall us. Especially with this being a super sprint weekend, it's going to be an interesting race tonight, folks. All right, coming down the last straight now before we are lined up. Actually, I believe, yeah, we are lined up in double file. John Casagina is going to have the inside, it looks like, going into Copse. Definitely going to be, it's going to be a good place to be on this track. Turn 1 is going to be interesting. I didn't even think about that. We've got 26 cars. They're going to try and fit through turn 1 here. It'll definitely be interesting to see how the drivers handle that. But I'm going to go ahead, and now that we are lined up double file coming around the last 2 corners, go ahead and say a huge thank you to everybody who has been watching up to this point and anybody who might join us. Thank you to Delta Racing League, not only for organizing this and putting it all on, but for giving me an opportunity to call another race. And as we round the final corner, we are just waiting for the green flag to be dropped, and then this race will be underway. And there is the green light. The green flag is waving. John Casagina gets a good start. He's going to have the inside line into Copse and does get out in front of Shu Chen in second place, but it's going to be an easy pass for him no matter what he tried to do. The middle of the grid is already completely mixed up. It doesn't look like we've had any contact yet. In fact, it looks like they're keeping things nice and tidy. Let's take a look back there. Oh, we've got some people using the runoff coming into Maggots. Looks like a couple of people. Oh, there's one off the road. Man, I almost need to go to the helicam so we can have some shot. Oh yeah, we've got a lawnmower out there. Wow, an awful lot just happened. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what all just happened, but let's check in right now that we've got a battle for second place developing behind Shu Chen. In fact, we got battles all over the place. We've got Ryan Yee gaining a position on Nicholas Armijo here. Yep, gets a good line on the inside there. I think we're gonna watch the middle of the pack there because we're still double file in places here. An AMG doing a good job of guarding the inside with the Porsche, gets the inside on the exit there, and he's gonna use that to get out in front of him. That Mercedes not letting up though. Staying nice and close to the Porsche out in front. Steve Poe gains a position on Joe Etsy, putting him into P24 now. It looks like things are backing up here. Man, these camera angles are not wide enough to try and catch the action. But Stubby McNubby goes on the outside, and a little bit of contact sends him spinning, and he's going to get collected by another passing car there. Couldn't tell who that was that hit him, but Stubby McNubby having a rough time of it there. Oh my goodness, we've got 3 wide now coming into the second, or I've forgotten my corner names, but the Porsche on the inside is able to hang on to it, and that AMG getting pushed to the outside. Now he's wheel to wheel with another Porsche. Oh, and he's gonna try on the outside. Let's see if he can slot in single file now, just 1 corner to go, and then these drivers are going to end their first lap here at Silverstone. That's just 1 lap, ladies and gentlemen, and they are still going for it. It's gonna be Nicholas Armijo, Ryan Yee, and Ben Burchett, and Ryan Garrity now enters it. And it looks like Dylan Brick runs wide off there. That's going to allow the AMG to pass on the inside. Nicholas Armijo starting to grow a little bit of a gap. It looks like there's traffic behind Dylan Brick as Ryan Yee gets around him. That Porsche definitely has front end damage though, so Dylan Brick going to be struggling to get that car to rotate, I'm sure. But now it looks like Ben Burchett wants a piece, and he gets it. Although there's still wheel to wheel coming around the corner. Dylan Brick able to get out just in front of Ben Burchett there. We'll see if he's able to make a move on the outside. It looks like he wanted to, but thinks better of it. Try and set up the pass on a better corner, I suppose. But Dylan Brick doing an excellent job of defending. But I don't think there's going to be much he can do to defend against that because Ben Burchett has the pace on the outside. Let's see if he can carry the speed. He runs off the track by a long way. And that was an ambitious passing attempt there. And finds his way back onto the track and almost loses control of the Porsche. He's going to have a rough time trying to get back onto the track now. And Dylan Brick going to hang on to his position. Ben Burchett dropping down, looks like 4 positions there. Ryan Yee getting ready to pass Nicholas Armijo. And then we're gonna have our first fastest lap there out of John Casagina there. Be a 158.1. Ooh, Ryan Yee really looks like he wants to get around the outside there. Let me... This fixed over there. And that Porsche is still glued to the back of Nicholas Armijo. Oh, and they're getting very close there, but I think Ryan Yee is able to sneak his way through. I think that is exactly what just happened. That was a great pass there by Ryan Yee. Gets out in front of the AMG of Nicholas Armijo. Now he's going to start chasing down Max Sunkenlap in the BMW ahead. We've also got a battle between Michael Yaknis and Timothy Jabadal that's heating up. Just as I say that, we see them try and go too wide through a corner. And McLaren's going to filter back in single file there. Try the pass later. We've also got Evan Toth entering the battle here for 8th place behind Michael Yaknis. And he is definitely under some pressure now. When you see the McLaren looks to the inside, there's no room to make it happen. Oh, has to get on the brakes to avoid causing contact there. And that McLaren can just carry so much more speed through that corner. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to pass here in the bends, but it does look like the Audi's rotating just a little bit better than the McLaren that's trying to pass him. And I mean, just look at that. We've still got a line of cars on the same straight here. This is really not separated out much at all. But let's right now look at the battle behind Andrew Sear. We've got Matt Byrne and Zach Doran in contention for 4th place now. Oh, and right there we've got Max Sunkenlap and Nicholas Armijo battling again. It's gonna be a BMW versus an AMG, and right now they are wheel to wheel coming into, is that Maggots and Beckett's? Yeah, it is. That's gonna be fun. Nicholas Armijo gets out in front, Max Sunkenlap gets cut off. Now we've got the BMW of Nico Roscosh catching up, Martin Flynn not far behind him. And then exit onto the straight. Let's see, I believe Max Sunkenlap is going to have the draft there. We also see a very tight battle behind Ryan Garrity starting to form. And we're gonna go ahead and split to the picture-in-picture just so we can have some shot at trying to keep track of this. That's Dylan Brick in the Porsche just behind Ryan Garrity right there. Ooh, and they get very close there. Dylan Brick gonna try on the outside and runs out of room, but now filters in single file, but now he has Ryan Garrity to think about. Excuse me, that's Ben Burchett. In fact, I think we gotta get this over on the big screen just so we don't miss anything. There's way too much going on here. The back of the pack is where the race is happening, folks. We see Martin Flynn there getting very close to the back of Nico Roscosh, and he's gonna try and push. He's trying to make that Honda as fast as he can. Oh, and goes a little too fast on the outside there, but manages to keep control of the car and not lose too much speed, somewhat surprisingly. And now the Ferrari of Steve Pove has entered the battle, but there is a huge contact there between Nico Roscosh and I believe, oh, I forgot, I didn't see who it was, but there's contact there. Dylan Brick off the road as well. And that is going to end their battle prematurely, I'm afraid. Not sure what happened there. Let's take a look a little farther up the grid. Timothy Jabadal and Michael Yaknis are still duking it out. Ooh, both cars go out a little bit wide there, but I think the McLaren is able to... No, that was just the camera angle playing some tricks. He's still behind him. And that's Evan Toth starting to get up into this battle for 8th now. Also looks like Landon Dinkel's starting to close up on Max Sunkenlap now. It's going to be a battle of BMWs here. Let's also take a look back here at the battle between Juan Martins and Stubby McNubby. Stubby McNubby gets the Aston Martin on the inside there and able to capitalize on it. Looks like Juan Martin's missing a braking marker there, which is going to yield a position to Stubby McNubby, moving him up into 24th place. Well, the battle behind Andrew Sear has not loosened up at all either. Matt Byrne still right on his heels. And that's followed by Zach Doran in P6. Let's take a look at their lap times here. Does look like Andrew Sear has a slight advantage, but not by much. Very similar lap times between these three drivers. Let's also take a look here at Zach Doran's times. Although that's their fastest lap. Hold on, let's do this last lap. There we go. Evan Toth starting to catch up to Timothy Jabadal. I mean, there's a lot to watch here, folks. Let's do this. Let's grab this one and do that. Actually, do that, and boom. There we go. We're gonna ride on board with Matt Byrne again. Watch this battle between him and Andrew Sear. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, there we go. Of course, right when I catch them on board, start spacing out. So let's go right on board with Ryan Yee. He's pretty close to his pass here. This is going to be between Ryan Yee and I'm Not Jimmy. Ooh, gets a little close to him on the brakes. You can see that Porsche wants to get by. Ryan Yee already doing a very good job of working his way up from the back of the grid. Did he not set a qualifying lap? That's confusing to me. He was crazy fast in practice. Weird. But yep, he is going to be chasing down I'm Not Jimmy, and I think he's got him on the inside there. I'm Not Jimmy gets a little bit slow on the outside, and that is going to allow Ryan to pass there on the inside. And now he's going to be chasing down Aaron Alexander. And has already almost caught up to him. Yeah, and on that last lap, Ryan almost 2 seconds faster than Aaron Alexander there. Ooh, he's the back end stepping out there. Ryan really is pushing this car to its limits. Something to point out, we're already 13 minutes into this race, but there's only 30 minutes total instead of the full hour. So really every second counts here for Ryan. And he is working as hard as he can. But that McLaren is very slippery, staying out in front, and it's got a lot of speed it can carry through some of these corners. Ooh, the Porsche is gaining inches. Let's see if he's got the pace to go on the outside. Now he's got the inside, gets on the brakes late and makes the pass happen. Right there is about as textbook of a move, I think, as we're going to see tonight. Great move there. But Aaron Alexander, no time to relax because now he has I'm Not Jimmy pushing for a position on him. Let's actually look a little bit farther up in the grid here. Zach Doran starting to apply some pressure. Excuse me, up to Matt Byrne there. And there are close battles to be watched everywhere right now. As you can see, at least 3 battles that are within a half second of each other. Oh. I think we're going to take a look here behind Ross Sparrow because Michael Yaktis and Timothy Jabadal have gotten very close to him now. Timothy Jabadal on the outside there. And there is the halfway call already. Ordinarily, we would still be waiting 5 more minutes just for the pit window. Oh, we've got a yellow flag waving for Zach Doran. Looks like he may have overcooked it a little bit there, yeah, and had to use the runoff. And loses a bit of time there to Matt Byrne. Things are also heating up between Aaron Alexander and I'm Not Jimmy again. Let's go ahead and take a look back there. Two cars that are complete opposites to one another. Being the Aston Martin and the McLaren in front of it. Timothy Jabadal literally wheel to wheel now. Is he able to make the pass happen on Michael Yaknis? Doesn't look like it. Audi's able to carry just a little bit more speed there on the outside. But Evan Toth now starting to poke his nose in. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to split screen this one too, because this is getting interesting. Oh, he might have gotten him there. The Audi has nowhere to go. He can't. He's got the inside, though. It just comes down to who's going to brake later. And it looks like Michael Yaknis is going to be the braver of the two and is able to get out in front and hang on to it. But there's another corner to go. And the McLaren's going to tuck his nose on the apex, pushing the Audi out wide. The Audi hangs on to the speed, though, and the McLaren's going to have to back up and go in single file through the next corner. Oh, and he gets very close. How is he not touching him right now? What on earth am I witnessing? He had to have, like, there's got to be paint from his car on the other one, but Evan Toth goes for a move on the outside, capitalizing on a mistake from the McLaren, is able to get his nose in and makes the pass happen. The McLaren, though, right back on the pressure, but now he's also got another Porsche to worry about. And that is going to be Ryan Yee behind him. Ooh, that's a good line from the McLaren. A bit of a mistake from the Lexus. But another wide line there from the McLaren is going to allow Ryan Yee on the inside. Oh, the McLaren's not happy about it, though. He's got the legs to get up on the outside. Let's see if he can get in front of him. Now going into Copse. Oh, he brakes way too late. He's going to have to use the runoff there and get the car back on the track, but that is going to put Ryan Yee right in front of him. Oh, and has to get on the brakes to back out of that one to avoid a collision. Probably the right calls. Got to make that ground back up now. Timothy Jabadal really pushing this McLaren as hard as he can. Ooh, and the first penalty for track limits is handed out to the 222 car. It's going to be Martin Flynn. Evan Toth now starting to apply a little bit of pressure on a Michael Yaknis, but Ryan Yee right on him. But right as I'm saying that, Aaron Alexander and I'm Not Jimmy are getting back into it. Let's see how these two are doing. We can actually see both battles kind of happening right now. Ooh, it is such similar pace between two very different cars there. It really is interesting. But let's take a look a little bit farther up the grid. Ryan Yee really starting to put the heat on Evan Toth now. And makes the pass happen there on the inside. Not sure where he found all that speed, but it was there somewhere. Now Ryan Yee going to have Michael Yaknis in the crosshairs. Both drivers having a good day. Michael Yaknis up 4 positions, Ryan Yee up 15. Going into Maggots and Beckett's now. Both cars taking nice lines through there. The Porsche's looking very composed, but the Audi is getting out in front of him. Oh, but there's the speed. Yep, there's the speed from the Porsche. Now he is right on his heels. The Audi trying to break the draft, but he just cannot do it. And now the Porsche is going to make the pass on the inside. Let's see if he can do it. They're too wide. Audi on the outside. The Porsche is going to get his nose out in front. And I believe that is the pass made. Oh, now Evan Toth going to try and capitalize on the pressure there. No room to make it happen, though. Ryan Yee going to make his getaway now. And now it is down to Evan Toth, Michael Yaknis, and Timothy Jabadal in this battle for 9th place. And we can see there in the background, Aaron Alexander and I'm Not Jimmy still duking it out. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there from Evan Toth. Cooks it out just a little bit wide. It's going to give Michael Yaknis some breathing room and put the pressure right onto himself now. Timothy Jabadal capitalizing on that, getting right on his heels. Ooh, and it looks like Timothy Jabadal is not expecting Evan Toth to be there, has to get on his brakes and use the runoff to avoid hitting him. There's a costly miscommunication there. Oh, he's trying. Look at him go on the outside. He's going to have the inside there if he gets out in front, but he has to back off. Not really much he can do that. Martin Flynn is going to go in now and serve his drive-through penalty. Evan Toth getting the draft from the Audi. It looks like he's able to get his wheel in. Will he be able to hang on to it, though? The Audi's looking very composed, but it does look definitively behind Evan Toth, and it is. And Evan Toth makes the move happen there on the inside, moving him up into 9th place. Take a look here. Zach Doran starting to look at making moves on Ross Sparrow just out in front of him. And pretty soon here, Ryan Yee is going to be putting the pressure on Zach Doran. Just 6.5 minutes left in this race. Not a lot of time left for the drivers to make any moves. But you better believe that they know that that timer is ticking and they're going to start getting aggressive here soon, if they haven't been already. He's starting to close up the distance again. Let's see if he can get just a little bit closer going into the straight. He might be able to get a draft here. But Ryan Yee also starting to get closer. One thing that I'm sure Zach Doran is going to be very aware of is that lime green reminder in his rear view mirror that he is about to be under some pressure if he can't get around Ross Sparrow here. And we can see he is really trying here. He may go for the late brakes on the inside. No, they're going to go through single file, and he's going to have to try again on another corner. I think at that point he was just trying to bait out a mistake. But now he has run out of room to think because Ryan Yee is right on his rear bumper. We can see Zach Doran getting impatient, having to stab the brakes there to avoid rear-ending the Porsche out in front. Looks on the inside. Oh, and it looks like just behind the cameras there, Timothy Jabadal makes a move happen on Michael Yaknis. Moving him up into P10. And this battle's getting even closer still, as we see Zach Doran trying to go on the inside there. Oh, look at that, Ryan Yee on the outside there. I'm glad I switched cameras. Now it is going to be between him and Zach Doran. And that looked like just a rough complex there for Zach Doran. Is going to allow Ryan Yee to make a pass there onto the straight. Ross Sparrow getting a second to think. Something I've just noticed is that 2, 3, and 4 have all kind of closed up on one another here with 3 minutes left. In fact, Jeff Spangler is starting to apply some pressure onto Shu Chen. And Matt Byrne not far behind in tow. And actually, let's take this opportunity here. Let's do a little onboard here with Jeff Spangler. Trying to chase down Shu Chen for P2. Less than half a second separating these two. Only 2 minutes left in the race. Almost certainly means we are either on the final lap or have one to go. I believe it's going to be that we have one to go. Oh, and I forgot to switch the cameras over to that. Sorry about that, folks. Jeff Spangler definitely had the better lap that time around. But we'll have to see how that looks when we get to the next one. He's more or less hanging on to that half-second gap behind Shu Chen. Oh, and they're going to come up to some traffic here. Which might just be the variable that they needed, either for Shu Chen to maybe grow some space here with the traffic, or for Jeff Spangler to get lucky with a bad pass for Shu. We'll see what happens here. Oh, looks like both of them going to be able to squeeze through the inside. Both of them going to be able to squeeze through the inside. There, and it looks like Matt Byrne's going to get a good pass there as well. That is, those are the blue flags that you love to see. It was great behavior from everybody. Oh, but right as we're looking at this, we're going to have to take it away and look over at the battle between I'm Not Jimmy and Aaron Alexander is also starting to pick up. Leader is on the final lap now. And it looks like the last battle on the grid is going to be between Aaron Alexander and I'm Not Jimmy. These two have been at it, and they've changed positions a couple of times now. And they are going to have one more lap here at Silverstone to try and determine who's going to be in P12, who's going to be in P13. Oh, and it looks like the McLaren gets a little bit loose on the outside there. And just before the final lap starts, I'm Not Jimmy is going to be able to make a getaway. Let's go ahead and take a look back over at the battle for second. And now the timer reads 0. Just a couple of corners left to go in this first race, and then we're going to have another 15-minute qualifying in a second race. So don't tune out yet. We still got plenty of driving left to do, but for this race coming to a close here in just a couple of corners, Jeff Spangler trying to use every second that he's got left to try and snag a P2 finish from Xu Chen. But I don't think he's got enough track to make it happen. Xu Chen very quick in the Audi out in front. Oh, but that BMW is looking like he might have a run here. And he does. He gets out in front of him with a fantastic exit there down the straight and is able to slingshot past Xu Chen, who essentially just has to sit there and watch it happen with 2 corners left in the race. John Casagina going to cross the line there in first, and it's going to be followed by Jeff Spangler in second, Xu Chen in third, and Matt Byrne in fourth. That is going to be Andrew Sear just behind. Around comes Ryan Yee, up 18 positions in this race. Dylan Brick going to cross the line right behind him. It looks like, yeah, now the checkered flags are starting to wave for everybody. I'm Not Jimmy going to finish in P12. Aaron Alexander just behind him in P13. Ben Burchett pushing for one last pass here, the final 2 corners of the track. Right on the heels of Landon Dinkel. It might come down to who has a better exit here. Both cars look very banged up. But I think the BMW is going to get the leg out in front, and he does. That's going to be Landon Dinkel, P15, Ben Burchett, P16. Ryan Garrity going across the line in P17, followed by Steve Poe and Nico Roscosh. A very dinged up BMW from the looks of it. Stubby McNubby now going to cross the line. Finish in P20, followed by Juan Martins in P22. And I believe that is the grid. Yeah, that is everybody across. Well, big congratulations there to Jean Casagina for finishing in P1 here on our first race, despite the fact the game wants me to see that it is P7 for some reason. Anyways, but that is going to be Jean Casagina in P1, Jeff Spangler in P2, followed by Xu Chen to round out our podium finishers here. And now we are just waiting for the session to tick over, and then we will be on to Quali 2. Any minute now. Wonder what it's doing. Are they seeing something I'm not? This is weird. Hold on. 1 second, folks, here. Go ahead and look at our title card for the week. Oh, there it goes. Right, of course. Right when I start to doubt it is when it ends the session. But that's okay, because there's nothing for me to do here for a little bit, because we got to wait for it to cycle over, or it won't let me control the cameras.
This is the epic outline of Silverstone, opened in 1948, changed from time to time over the years, but still the essence of this place is that it was a circuit built on a...
All right, any moment here we will begin the second qualifying session. Drivers right now just trying to make any last-minute changes they think they needed to make after the race. The 30-minute race really is just an extended qualifying session if you think about it. But right now, we are still waiting for it to tick over, which is very interesting. Sorry about this, folks. Seem to be having a little bit of technical difficulty. Doesn't look like the server. There it goes. All right, now we're gaming. All right, let me get my camera situated here, folks, and then we'll get back over to the track here now as we're watching the first of the cars start their qualifying laps. But as with last time, it's gonna be a little bit till we have any hot times to base our qualifying session off of, but we do have the times from last race that we just finished to kind of base our times off of. We saw a lot of 158s as our quickest lap times, so it'll be interesting to see what the drivers do during this qualifying session. Once again, it's going to be Xu Chen first out of the pits. Let's see, that is going to be, excuse me, no, I am mistaken. It is actually going to be Dylan Brick that is going to be the first out. So Dylan Brick, first one out, followed by Xu Chen. And it looks like Evan Toth going to be out just behind him. And we've got a couple. We've got Ross Sparrow and Zach Doran out. And then kind of a pack of cars. Now, I have a feeling this is where we're going to be hanging out. In fact, we got a couple packs of cars here. Might lead to, you know, an interesting quali. I think all the drivers have agreed, you know what? Why worry about spacing out when we just got to get out here and set laps? Especially when there's only 30 minutes in a race on a track as long as Silverstone. I mean, you don't get a lot of time to make passes happen. So those spots you can earn on the grid in qualifying are all the more important. Stubby McNubby yielding a couple of positions there. Oh, Michael Yaknis getting a little confused. All right, let's take a look over here at this pack. We've got Matt Byrne, and we'll see who he's chasing down. That looks like Stubby McNubby out in front of him. Gets on the brakes to give himself some space. Or allow another car around him. Interesting. Yeah, this is proven to be an interesting qualifying session. I think we can say that. A yellow flag for Casagina. Uh-oh. Looks like he put his Porsche into the wall there. It's not where you want your Porsche. You want it on the track. I would have expected he'd know better. I'll have to tell him after the race. Let's take a look over at Xu Chen here. Where is he on the track? Coming into... oh, I forgot the name of these corners. Google, help! That's right, it's Village. I knew that. I didn't need to look that up. See, Evan Toth actually, or Xu Chen, on a pretty impressive improvement here. Granted, that's off the back of a cold lap, so we'll see what the actual lap time is when he gets there. 2.1 seconds faster already. First hot lap's going to be from Dylan Brick with a 2:01, followed by Xu Chen with a 1:57.9 as the fastest lap of the session so far. Evan Toth also sets a fantastic lap, moving him up into second place with a 1:59.267. Michael Yaknis coming around the final bend now with an 0.8 improvement. Going to cross the line with a new personal best, going to be a 1:59.242. And for some reason, it's telling me he's in second place. That can't be right. No, I know for a fact that's not right. Hold on, I've seen this happen before. 1 second, folks. I got to fix my broadcasting app. We're going to go ahead and do a little that. A little that. And connect back up. Let's see if it sorts itself out. There we go. All right. Now it's got everybody where they belong. Take a look over at Juan Martins. Working his way into the chicane here. Let's take a look over here. I'm Not Jimmy, almost a second up in the Delta. Also, Zach Doran, 1.1 seconds up. We got a lot of people making improvements here. Now down into the final two corners here. And he's going to hang on to that 1 second lead coming around the final corner. Come on, just a little bit more. It's just going to slip out of grasp, but he is going to cross the line with a 158.9, moving him up into fifth place, up 3 positions. Martin Flynn also on a very good lap now. We've got a new fastest lap from John Casagina, going to be a 157.632. Going to be the new time to beat. Xu Chen just 0.3 behind. Ryan Yee is probably just getting his tires heated up here. Let's take a look at Matt Byrne right now. 0.4 in the Delta. Gonna need just a hair more than that if he's gonna get in front of Xu Chen, but this actually might be fast enough if he gets a bit more improvement on the exit. It looks like a rough exit there for him. Looks like he caught traffic at the worst time possible. Still hanging on to a 1/4 second lead. Let's see if we can get some of that back on the exit. Yeah, and he's going to abandon that lap. Can't say I blame him. Jeff Spangler out there, 0.3 up. We've also got Aaron Alexander a 0.5 second up. And Yisun Se, 1.2 seconds up now, 1.3 coming at the exit. Let's make it 1.4. There we go. And excuse me for a moment while I look for where I put them. Where are my copies? Sensei gonna go ahead and put that lap away. Looking around to see if anybody's on an improvement here. Ross Barrow, very close. And a yellow flag from Xu Chen there for a second. Sure what was going on with that. Ross Sparrow still fighting to find some more time in this lap now, 1 corner to go. he can make it more than 3/10, he's got a P10 start. Oh, and it looks like he's just gonna bleed that time away. Coming around the final corner, and he's gonna have to try again. 4.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Not a lot of time left for him to make that happen. And John Casagina going out there now, 4/10 up on his lap, almost a half second now. And he does make that Porsche look very fast. Jeff Spangler, almost a half second in the Delta now. Steve Poe, almost up a second. No, we see the BMW, I believe that is Max something lap there, off wide. Casagina is going to cross the line with this lap time, 4/10 up, widening the gap just that much more with a 157.24, over a half second faster than second place now. Jeff Spangler looks like coming around. Where is he at? He's just exiting Village there. Or excuse me, getting ready to enter it. Managing to find a little bit more time there. Staying just above half a second. Zach Doran also finds a couple of tenths there, moving him into the half second range, and then gives it right back because I said something. Now 3/4 of a second up is Jeff Spangler, and he will definitely be taking a position away from Matt Byrne. If he keeps going, he is looking at a second place starting position. I don't know if it's there now, but we will find out shortly. Coming around the final bend, crosses the line, and he's going to move himself up into P3, displacing Matt Byrne with a 158.14. Matt Byrne now looking for at least a 10th improvement to retain that third place starting position. Zach Doran out here, just shy of a half second faster than his previous best. And crosses the line with a new personal best, moving him up into 5th place with a 158.225. 1/100th of a second faster than Matt Byrne's best lap. Now with 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining, not a lot of time left for their drivers to make improvements. Let's take a look at Nico Roscoe here. 4/10 in the Delta. Make that a nice even 6. Hanging on to a 3/10 lead here, coming hot into the corner. Able to carry some more speed through there, more than last time at least. Now back up to a half second lead. Continuing to find time. Coming into the Village. Now 3/4 of a second. Let's see if he can get the power down and hang on to it. Ooh, he's gonna stay right around that half second mark. Find some more time there. Man, if he could just get all of that to stick, that'd be a crazy fast lap time, but he is going to set a pretty big improvement here. Now 3/4 of a second, 8/10 of a second up. He's gonna hang on to it. Let's see where that lap time is gonna land him. He'll be in the 159s, and ensure he is 159.905, moving him up into 14th place as time expires in this qualifying session. Juan Martin's out there entering. Let's see. Yep, that's Maggots and Beckett's now. 3/10 in the Delta. That BMW is moving down that straight. Looks like he just manages to keep that one valid. This is one of the tracks where the rumble strips on the outside are the track limits in some of the corners. Looks like he's going to lose a bit of time on the exit there. Still hanging on to 2/10, which would be enough to move him up into 14th if he can hang on to it. Come on, he's just looking for a little bit more. Aaron Alexander finds a lot of time. Now in the 3/10 improvement range, Juan Martin looking for at least another 10th here, and he will gain 2 positions on the qualifying attempt. Aaron Alexander is going to come around the final bend, a 1/4 second up on his previous best, setting a 1:59.682. And Juan Martin's going to come around the final bend here with he's got 2.3 tenths. Hang on to it. He's going to cross the line and moves up into 15th place with a 2:0.027. And that is going to be quali 2. And now we gear up for the second race. Oh, and I'm looking at the chat now. Let's see here. Oh, apparently somebody ran out of fuel and didn't finish their lap. That's what happened. And Evan Toth, yeah, it definitely will be a good race too. It almost certainly will be a good race too here. And it looks like got a little bit later in the day here, as I believe that is the sun setting. 20 degrees on the track, a little bit of overcast and a gentle breeze. We'll see what this race is going to look like. But of course, we've got a little while until we start our formation lap here. Got about 2.5 minutes. How's everybody feeling? Chat, how we doing? How's your Sunday? Did you have a good weekend? A pretty alright weekend. Got to relax a whole bunch. Apollo Racing Club finished up their Season 10 of all the American DLC tracks last night. That was a very exciting race at Watkins Glen. I actually had a couple of faces from here who participated in there. And now we are just waiting for our formation lap to start. 1.5 minutes to go. I should find out what time of day it actually is here. If that's sunrise or sunset, I can't tell. Or if it'll even tell me. I don't think it'll tell me from the screen I'm on right now. Well, we'll find out eventually.
This is the epic outline of Silverstone, opened in 1948, changed from time to time over the years, but still the essence of its place is that it's a circuit built on the perimeter road of World War II fighter station, and as you can see, there is a lot of flow around the outside of the circuit with some incredible...
All right, 30 seconds to go. The drivers will be making the last of their changes. Now they're on their second race, so they'll have that much more information to work on. Very similar track conditions, albeit the weather's slightly different. And so we really should start to see the times pick up here. And for anybody who had a rough first race, this is their opportunity to score some points back. So we are probably going to see the levels of aggression escalated a little bit in this race. All right, and John Casagina is going to start our formation lap now. And the number 911 Porsche 911. Yeah, I also saw the Indy finale, especially after such an exciting qualifying session, too. I was definitely looking forward to a race. I also know, I think, or I shouldn't say I know, I think F1 was at Zandvoort this morning. I still need to watch that race. Or was it Monza? I can't remember. It was one of the two. Oh, well, thank you very much, Tavern. That's very thoughtful of you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy the show. I enjoy doing it. Especially when the drivers are putting on such a good show. It was Monza? Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to watch that then. Man, this game is pretty. It's about time we start lining up double file here. Why does it say Xu Chen is in P1? Oh man, this should be interesting. And you know what? Actually, I think we're gonna queue up this camera for the race start this time, just so we don't miss anything. We're gonna go helicam over here. There we go. Look at that grid, folks. Almost 30 cars on it. I believe 26 starting this race. That is indeed the case. And we are lining up double file, rounding the last couple of corners here, and then we are going to get race 2 here at Silverstone underway. We actually have a very similar starting grid to last time. It's gonna be John Casagina and Xu Chen up in front. But now we are just waiting for the green flag to drop, the green lights to light up, and we are going to get this race going. Race 2 here at Silverstone. After the first race, there is the start-finish line. We will see the green lights any second. And there we go. There is the green flag, and this race is going to start. It's going to be a good run between Xu Chen and John Casagina. Xu Chen gets a good run on the outside, but that inside line is just too strong there. We actually see the majority of the grid being able to make it through safely. Too wide, no yellow flags yet. It doesn't look like John Casagina staying out in front of the pack. Xu Chen and Jeff Spangler are still somewhat chasing each other down, trying to get more people on camera here than it is letting me. Look at that grid, folks. It is still packed out there. Oh, and we've got somebody on the inside there kicking up a bit of dirt, but it looks like everybody is going to be relatively safe all the way through Maggots and Beckett's as we start to line up single file now. And we can see I'm Not Jimmy there getting passed by Evan Toth on the inside. Zach Doran under a bit of fire from Matt Byrne. Look at that, goes for the crossover and gets him on the inside there. And that was an ambitious move. And he makes it stick now. Andrew Sear wants a piece of Zach Doran. There we go. Trying to get as many of these folks on camera as we can, watch from as many different angles as we can, because they are still stacked on top of one another. And actually, let's go ahead and we're going to monitor the battle back here. We've got a pretty interesting battle for 19th, 18th starting to unfold here towards the back of the pack. Actually, let's go ahead and we're going to consolidate here and take a look over at Andrew Sear here. Actually, as I'm saying that, the pack is starting to space out just a little bit. First clean lap from Casagina is going to be a 2:05. Michael Yaknis and Evan Toth now starting to get into it a little bit. Battling out for 7th. Timothy Jabadal now getting involved. And look at that single file race down the straight there. We've got a bit of a battle starting to develop behind here. Let's see, we've got a battle for 17th here. Actually, Ben Burchett under a bit of fire there. Looks like he gets a little bit loose there, has to use the runoff. Manages to do it without getting anybody included in there, but look at how tight that is going into the Vale chicane. Ferrari on the inside is barely managing to squeeze through. Ryan Garrity really putting the pressure here on Mac Sonthunlap. Juan Martins makes a pass on Landon Dinkel. Landon Dinkel takes a position right back. Ooh, we've got cautions waving just in front of us. Looks like the battle between Ryan Yee, Nicholas Armijo, and Dylan Brick is getting a little bit spicy there. It might have been a little bit of contact. But now Stubby McNubby is going to try and make a move on the outside, but Dylan Brick's got the apex locked down there. No room for the Aston Martin to try and make a pass. Now Dylan Brick starting to put the pressure on Nicholas Armijo out in front. Now Stubby McNubby starting to catch back up here. Ooh, Dylan Brick carrying a lot more speed there than Nicholas Armijo, but gets on the outside there. Can he keep it on the track? Kicks up a little bit of dust there. We can also see now that Max Sonthunlap is under a lot of pressure from Ryan Garrity coming down the straight as well. We might see Ryan Yee try and make a pass here. Could be Yusun Say there in the Lamborghini. Oh, he's got his nose in and is able to kind of pressure the Lamborghini off the track there a little bit, but it is still a two-car race here, but that inside line is going to be pretty much undefendable for the Lamborghini, and Ryan Yee makes the move happen. And just as I say that, it looks like Dylan Brick makes a move and gets a couple passes here, but there's still even more happening here back behind Stubby McNubby. Max Sonthunlap in between three cars there. McLaren on the inside really gets pinched. BMW on the outside able to capitalize on it. And they are still going too wide through most of these corners there. Jose Etsy doing a great job of keeping his leg in. That BMW on the inside is going to be difficult to defend from, though. Ryan Garrity does a great job and goes for the late brakes and lunges out in front of him, netting him a position, moving him up into P23. And now another traffic jam in the second to last corner there. We can see just how close it is between Ben Burchett and Jose Etsy as Ben gets right behind him there. He got on the brakes and decides to go through single file, but that may have let him capitalize on a bit of a wide line there from the McLaren out in front. Now we've got two sets of cars going too wide there. They somehow managed to filter through there. I mean, we are 7 minutes into this race. It is time for you to start pushing. And actually, we have a big upset up at the front here. Ben Burchett, Jeff Spangler and Matt Byrne now in contention for third place here. You see Xu Chen got a sizable gap there, and this is now turning into a three-car battle for third place. And if Andrew Sear is able to close that gap, it might even be a five-car battle for third place. We're going to go back to the picture-in-picture here so we can keep watching the battle here at the back of the grid, because they are still not pulling their punches. We'll go helicam so we can actually see what's going on here. It's going to be Nicholas Armijo and Yi Sun Se there in the white Lamborghini. Actually, as I say that, they managed to space back out, so let's do this. We're going to do that, and we're going to ride on board with Matt Byrne, who is looking to make a pass happen here as soon as he can. Oop, that's what I meant to do. Looks like he got the back end just unsettled a little bit there, but able to keep it in. He's chasing him down, starting to gain a couple inches there. Takes a look on the inside, trying to play some mind games there. Gets absolutely blinded by the sun. Oh, and we've got a yellow flag and a car spun out in Beckett's. Looks like it's going to be Ryan Garrity. Matt Byrne now within 0.2 of a second of Jeff Spangler now. Comes out real wide. Oh, and there's contact. Oh, they just did not anticipate being that close to each other, and Jeff Spangler gets spun around and has to wait for traffic to clear before he is able to get his car sorted back out. Man, and just to give you an idea of how quickly that all happened, I saw it coming and couldn't even get the words out in time before it happened. That is a rough racing incident there. We'll definitely want to see what the stewards have to say about that, but that was very close. Zach Doran making a pass there on Timothy Jabadal, or actually it looks like they traded positions in the corner. And Zach Doran's hanging on to 5th place. Got a yellow flag for Steve Poe going into the second to last corner. Oh my goodness, it looks like Timothy Jabadal is going to go for the run on the outside. But there's just no way to make it work there. Gets right on the rear bumper. He is practically getting towed by the Audi at this point. Looks on the outside. Let's see if he can get on the brakes later. They look like they more or less brake at the same time. McLaren has to compromise a bit more there than the Audi from the looks of it. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Timothy Jabadal here. They're gonna go, oh, too wide through there. McLaren has the inside. The Audi can't get the power down in time, but there's still a couple more corners to decide here. Let's see who gets the better run down the straight. Ooh, and the dip out into the sand for the Audi could be trouble. We can see he's right there in the rear view camera, and he's gonna look on the inside. And it is gonna be Timothy Jabadal gets the move completed and moves himself up into 5th place. We'll also take a look here. Ben Burchett going for a pass on the inside there of Nico Roscosh. Also got Nicholas Armijo and Yisun Se battling it out right now for P17. And Ryan Yee looking for a pass on Martin Flynn now. I'm sorry, I know we're jumping all over the place, folks, but there are battles happening everywhere. Timothy, oh, it looks like a mistake from Andrew Sear has cost him 2 positions, getting passed by Timothy Jabadal and Zach Doran, as well as Evan Toth. Must have been a rough exit there out of Beckett's. Cost him a couple of positions, but he just managed to get out in front of Evan Toth again. He was not happy about it, as we can see the blinkers there. I'm sorry, I'm just now catching up with the chat now. And yeah, riding dirty in the highlighter yellow spaceship. Say what you will about that highlighter yellow spaceship. It is the currently the only official car of the Matt McAdams fan club. And so it gets no favoritism or bias ever. But it's my favorite. Evan Toth really starting to put the pressure here on Andrew Sear. And if you want to hear one of the best sounding engines in the game, I can confirm it sounds this good in real life too. And when that thing drives past you, you can feel it in your chest. It's incredible. This one and the AMG, and then obviously I'm partial to the Corvette C8R. That thing was also a monster. But that's just my American showing. Evan Toth trying to get the toe down the straight. We're starting to see that Lexus's straight line speed just catching up. He's reeling in that Porsche. Let's see if he can rotate as well. It looks like he's actually rotating a little bit better. Gaining a bit of ground on the Porsche out in front. They're actually catching up to a battle just in front of them between Timothy Jabadal and Zach Doran. And we are halfway into this race. 15 minutes has already passed. And just to give you an idea how quick these races are, again, we'd still be waiting 5 more minutes for a pit window ordinarily. This battle's about to get very interesting here, folks. We're actually getting a good view of the battle out in front. Actually, just as we lose it with the sunset there. Man, what a shot. Getting right back on Andrew Sear here. They are yo-yoing a little bit. Let's go ahead and we're going to get their lap comparisons up here as they cross the line. We'll see those update. And looks like Evan Toth just 0.3 slower there than Andrew Sear, so I imagine we're going to be watching this battle for a little bit. Let's take a look here between Max Sunkenlap and Ryan Garrity. Actually, as he gets past there on the straight, we'll open that back up. Max Sunkenlap on the inside, Ryan Garrity outside. Ryan Garrity forced to go the long way around is going to mean Max Sunkenlap gets out in front of him, but it looks like a bit of a mistake for Max Sunkenlap, runs it out wide, and Ryan Garrity able to make the pass on the inside, gets that position back. Dylan Brick starting to apply some pressure here onto Jose Etze. Etze? Or is it Este? I think it's Este, and I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Once again, my American is showing. Okay, let's see. We actually almost have another pass here from Ryan Yee as he works his way up the field. Now Jeff Spangler in the crosshairs. That is going to be a little bit more of a target here than the rest of the field. Jeff Spangler, no joke. But just a little bit ago, wait a second. What happened? Why is he in P10? I am confused. Oh, that's right. He got spun around in the chicane. That's right. Listen, two races is a lot to try and remember. Okay, I'm trying. This is hard. But Jeff Spangler definitely not going to allow for an easy pass here from Ryan Yee, as he is on a recovery drive of his own and has some work to do here. But Ryan Yee, you can see, getting very impatient here and might have the legs to pass on the inside. Jeff Spangler still in it, though. But the inside line there through Copse is going to be an easy move made there for the Porsche driver. Zach Dorn and Timothy Jabot all starting to get into it. We got a yellow flag for Andrew Sear, is off the track just in front of us on the entry of Maggots and Beckett's. Not sure if he missed the braking zone there, but he's going to use that runoff there to get back onto the track. And loses a couple of positions in the fallout. Juan Martins and Martin Flynn starting to get into it a little bit. Andrew Sear and I'm Not Jimmy trading positions too. Actually, we've got a little bit of a battle here forming behind Ross Sparrow for 7th. We are approaching the 10-minute mark here. Now Ryan Yee starting to get closer to I'm Not Jimmy in the Aston Martin. And they're doing nearly 150 miles an hour by the end of the straight, slowing down to just shy of 60 miles an hour, just to give you an idea of how quickly these cars can stop. Ryan Yee starting to gain on a matter of inches here, now getting even closer. He's going to be getting a tow now into Copse. Ryan Garrity gaining a position on Stubby McNubby, and now so does Max Sunkenlap. Ryan Yee getting very close now. And the 453 car picks up a penalty for track limits. Let's see who that is. 453, that is going to be Michael Yaknis in P12. Going to pick up the drive-through penalty. We've got a lot of close battles here starting to unfold. Yep, Michael Yaktis gets a yellow flag there. Not from him serving a pit stop, loses 3 positions, excuse me. We're actually going to open this up to the helicam here so we can watch both battles if we can here. So we got Ryan Yee behind I'm Not Jimmy, and Martin Flynn, or excuse me, Andrew Sear and Ross Sparrow also very close to one another there. Oh, Ryan Yee's going to try and go the long way around and might have the legs to do it on the switch back in. Now has the apex. And I believe that is the move made there by Ryan Yee. And just in front of him, Andrew Sear and Ross Sparrow are starting to get into it. Got a battle of Porsches here. We're about to have a third one enter the fray. And it looks like there Ross Sparrow overcooks it a little bit, but is able to hang on to the inside. Let's see who gets the power down first. It's going to be Andrew Sear on the outside, but I believe the inside Porsche is able to get out in front. Just a little bit easier time getting the power down on that inside line. Andrew Sear going to tuck in right behind Ross Sparrow there, coming around Cops. We can see there, I believe that's Stubby McNubby leaving the pits. And we are already down. Oh, and Andrew Sear gets a little loose there. Not sure what happened there, but is going to get kind of punted off for a second time there, going into Maggots and Beckett's. And now Ryan Yee making sure that Ross Sparrow has no time to relax. We also see Dylan Brick and Jose Estee trading positions there for a little bit. Looks like they may have had a bit of contact. Yeah, we see a yellow flag waving on Dylan Brick. Looks like they got a little bit of traded paint there in Cops. And Ryan Yee making a pass. Let's look up at Timothy Jabadal, who's under fire right now from Zach Doran, who gets a rough exit there on the inside of the Vale chicane. I believe that's where they are. No, excuse me, this is Village. We see Evan Toth there in the background, starting to make up some ground. And we are down to 24 cars on the track at this point. We have 2 DNFs now, apparently. See Martin Flynn starting to apply some pressure here to Landon Dinkel in the BMW. Honda's going to try on the outside. That's not going to work. Not this time anyways. Now coming around the final bends here. And hooks back up with the BMW. Now is going to be getting the draft down the straight. And he is definitely getting a tow here. I don't know if he'll be able to get enough of one to get out in front to Cops. Doesn't look like it. Ooh, but a rough exit there for the BMW, and Martin Flynn's going to capitalize on it. Gets around on the outside. We'll see if he can defend it. Actually, no, he is all the way out in front. And that is the move made there by Martin Flynn, moving him up into P14. Andrew Sear starting to get close to Aaron Alexander now, just ahead of them. Manages to get through Maggots and Beckett's without taking the scenic route this lap. Well, Landon Dinkel not letting up on Martin Flynn there. And these two still trying to decide who's going to be in P14, but less than 5 minutes remaining in this second race here. Not a lot of time for him to make that improvement. Ooh, and both of them take a nice, nice little bite of the sausage curb there. But it looks like the Honda survives this a little bit better because now Ben Burchett is right on the heels of Landon Dinkel for P15. And he is right there on him, getting the tow down the straight. Let's look at their last lap's comparison. Ben Burchett really making some moves here. 2 seconds a lap faster than Landon Dinkel on the previous lap. We'll see what this lap has to say, but it looks like a rough exit there for the BMW is going to allow the Porsche to sneak through on the inside down into the straight. And that's going to be the move made by Ben Burchett there. We'll see if he's able to start growing that gap. Really, what I'm interested in is see what their lap time comparisons are after this one. There we go. Both of them on invalid laps, but Ben Burchett's about 2.5 seconds faster there. Let's take a look here. Ross Sparrow is going to be under fire now from Jeff Spangler on the recovery drive, now in P9 after we checked in on him last time. Oh, that BMW has got so much speed in a straight line. He's going to get out in front and make the move happen. We'll see if he's able to hang on to it. The Porsche is keeping his nose in it. But the speed of that BMW, man, that M-Power just pushes him out in front, but he is not letting up yet. Tries to make a move on the outside and go the long way around into the Vale chicane. And doesn't have room to make it happen. Andrew Sear getting very close to Aaron Alexander. We can see them coming around the corner there in the background. Ross Sparrow fighting to try and keep on the back of Jeff Spangler there. But that gap is growing ever so slowly, and Andrew Sear makes a move on Aaron Alexander there on the inside on the entry there into Village and makes the move happen. And that's going to be now Andrew Sear 11. Ross Sparrow not letting up on the pressure on Jeff Spangler, though, still within a half second there. And Aaron Alexander getting the toe down the straight here. And Matt Byrne is actually starting to close in on Shu Chen. Less than 2 minutes remaining. We got a yellow flag for Zach Doran. Looks like he overcooked it into Copse. Has to take the runoff, and Evan Toth going to gain a position. Now Ryan Yee closing up on him. Ryan Yee gets a much better line through there and has to let off so as to avoid the collision there, but now it's going to be a drag race down the straight. It's going to be Audi versus Porsche. I think the Audi has the advantage here. And sure enough, the Audi manages to stay out in front. But Ryan Yee is right there, not giving him any room to breathe. One minute remaining now, 57 seconds and counting, and this second race is almost over. Ryan Yee going for another last to first challenge, up 16 positions already, looking to make it 17 for P6. Zach Doran looking to hang on to the position. Yi-Sun Se right now putting some pressure on Nicholas Armijo in the back of the pack. And we can see Ryan Yee really trying to open up these corners and get better exits to try and make the pass on the Audi, which, as we saw, is just quick enough on the Porsche in a straight line where he can stay out in front even when the Porsche is getting the toe. He looks around and knows he has no room to make it work. And as I say that, John Casagina starts the final lap of the race. Watch this battle for the last lap, trying to see who's going to finish in P6. Ryan Yee is trying to make it himself. Zach Doran is going to be trying to hang on to that position. He is under an awful lot of pressure here, starting lap, what is this, 15 here at Silverstone for race 2. Yee really trying to push as hard as he can. Now he's going to be in the toe of that Audi, which should just keep him on his heels. He won't be able to make that pass happen because that Audi is just so quick in a straight line right now. Oh, but that's a great line for the Porsche driver, and he makes the pass happen on the inside there. That was an excellent pass there by Ryan Yee. Just waited for his time to capitalize on a mistake or a rough corner entry there from the Audi. Makes the move happen, moving them up into P6 on the final lap of the race. Let's actually check in with John Casagina here, coming around the final 2 corners to finish race 2 in P1 after a very dominant showing here at Silverstone, winning both race 1 and race 2. And by no small margin has almost a 10-second gap on 2nd place. And there is our race winner here with the blowout, John Casagina in the Porsche. We got Shu Chen now coming around the final bend, going to finish in P2 with Matt Byrne right behind him in P3. Timothy Jabadal is going to be looking at a P4 finish after starting P8. Certainly a drive I'm sure he's going to be happy with. Crossing the line in P4. It's going to be followed by Evan Toth, starting P10, finishing P5. Ryan Yee starting who knows how far back and finishing in P6. Zach Doran going to cross the line in P7, followed by Jeff Spangler in P8. Ross Sparrow in P9, I'm Not Jimmy, to round out the top 10. Andrew Sear in P11, and Aaron Alexander, in P12. Juan Martin's going to cross the line along with Martin Flynn and Ben Burchett for 13, 14, and 15. Landon Dinkel coming around the final bend now. And he's going to finish P16. Nicholas Armijo and Yisun Se still duking it out. Coming around the final bend now, going to finish P17 and 18. Michael Yaknis and Ryan Garrity and Jose Este going to be fighting it out still all the way down to the final corner. And that's looking like it's going to be Michael Yaknis 19, Ryan Garrity in P20, followed by Jose Este in 21st. Max Sunkenlab coming around the final corner now in P22. And it looks like Stubby McNubby and Nico Roscosh have finished their races in 23 and P24 with 2 DNFs. But that is going to be race number 2 over. Huge congratulations to John Casagina for running away with both races. But I believe that is where we are going to call it for the evening. That has been Silverstone Super Sprint here for race number 6 of the NA Series. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who tuned in and watched. It was a fun couple of races to watch, action-packed from beginning to end. That is why I love the Super Sprint format. A lot of variability and good opportunity for drivers to try and maybe make up for a race they weren't so super happy with without having to wait an entire week to do so. But that is going to do it for me this weekend. Thank you, everybody who tuned in and watched the stream. It was fun hanging out with y'all, and I am looking forward to catching you next week. Let me find out where we are going to be. We are going to be... Ooh, okay, we've got a sprint race at Watkins Glen. That will definitely be interesting. It's not going to be the same as a super sprint. It's going to be one race, but... should be exciting nonetheless, and I am certainly a fan of Watkins Glen. But final thank you for tuning in. My name is Matt McAdams, and I will see you next week.